Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic. Welcome back to my YouTube channel everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here again. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a tier list, an end of the month tier list, because today is May 31st. That means today we are doing a tier list for all 6 movies that I saw in the month of May of 2023. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. Alright, so this is the tier list. Yes, I know it looks completely small with how many movies I saw, but we have A, B, C, D, F down to the worst. Let's go ahead and get started because it's probably going to be a quick video because it's only 6 movies. And we start off the month with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is no question. It is easily going up in that A tier. Obviously, from when we first heard about it back at Comic-Con last year, I was initially excited. I was of course excited, but I was nervous because I'm like, okay, I would like to see a trailer first. We got that first trailer, pretty great. Second trailer, loved it even more. And then we got the movie, and it just did something that I actually was not expecting. First off, it gave us finally probably the best MCU film since Avengers Endgame, and No Way Home, and then No Way Home was actually the best film I saw since Endgame. But not only that, this movie also completed all of the great character arcs of all these characters. Where as soon as you enter the movie, and honestly, the opening of the film is probably one of the best openings I've ever seen in an MCU film, that really sets up the tension as to what we're doing here. But then also, like, the backstory of Rocket Raccoon is just heartbreaking. I mean, obviously, I'm not sensitive towards animal cruelty, but the stuff that goes through him in this movie is pretty sad. All of the character arcs that we get in this film, whether it's Star-Lord, where he goes off and goes back to his dad or his grandpa, we get Drax becoming the dad he's supposed to be, Nebula becoming a mom and probably having the best character development in the entire MCU, from becoming this very dark character that wants to kill the Guardians and now being a member of them and becoming a mother. Mantis wants to explore herself, and she was actually really funny in this. Groot doesn't really technically have an arc, but he's greatly used in this movie, and everything that he does is awesome. And then, of course, I feel like, you know, the stuff with Adam Warlock and Gamora doesn't really feel like it needs to be here. And it probably feels like it's doing so much and it's also really long. But I feel like it adds a lot of stuff. And then, of course, it also has some of the best action from the Guardians films. Especially that one scene where it has No Sleep Till Brooklyn playing. Guardians 3 is a phenomenal film. Right now, it is my favorite movie of all time. Oh, not all time. Infinity War is. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. That will compete with Across the Spider-Verse that I'll be seeing in a couple days. But yeah. So yeah, Guardians 3 is a great movie. And honestly, it was a great way to start the month off. Now, obviously, Guardians 3 wasn't the only movie that we got in May. I wish it was, but we still have other movies to talk about. And I'm not gonna say like May was a mid-month, because I feel like Guardians 3 was like the only film that I would give like a positive. I mean, every other movie I thought was good, but Guardians 3 is just on this whole nother level. But with the next movie, we get The Mother, and I think it was fine. It wasn't great. It didn't do anything amazing, but it was fine. You know, it's a Jennifer Lopez action movie where, you know, you have gunfights, but you also have hand-to-hand combat, and I think that's fun. So, it has some emotion with it as she's trying to protect her long-lost daughter, so I liked it. It's going in C. Then we get this Disney Plus original movie, Crater. about these 4 kids that want to try and go back to Earth as they've been living on this space planet for far too long. I think it's a fine movie. Granted, it doesn't do anything like spectacular or anything, but I think it does what it's going for. I think it does what it's going for rather well. So I'm going to put it in... Hold up. I'm going to put it in the B tier because I actually enjoyed it a lot more and I think it's actually a very good film. Then we get Fast X. Obviously, with the last 2 Fast and Furious films before this, with Fate of the Furious and F9, they obviously were not the best films, and I actually quite enjoy F9 a good bit. However, this movie, I would say, was a good return to the Fast and Furious franchise part of that I liked. My favorite parts of the Fast and Furious franchise was with Fast 5 through 7. And I feel like it kind of returned to that, where you had all the fun action. I think what kind of helps it is that it has this storyline of Infinity War. So taking a bit of a storyline that's based off of my favorite movie of all time, that's awesome right there. But then also Jason Momoa's performance and being all wacky and goofy is just fun. He's probably the funnest of our villains in the Fast and Furious franchise. Granted, it's not great. It's not well written. I am excited for the next film. I'm hoping that maybe the last couple films, because you think about all these finales to these big franchises, like Jurassic World and Halloween, they didn't really have the best, endings. Like Jurassic World Dominion, I liked, but I don't think it was a great conclusion to the Jurassic World franchise, or even the Jurassic Park franchise. Halloween Ends, I thought was a pretty great movie, but I don't really know if it was a great conclusion to... I don't think it was the best way to conclude the Halloween franchise. Fast 11, I hope that this movie is good. I hope the next couple ones after this are good. So I'm actually going to put this in C, because I actually liked it more than The Mother. Then we have White Man Can't Jump. So I actually never seen the original White Man Can't Jump. I actually saw it before I saw this one. The weekend of it came out, and I thought it was actually pretty good. You know, a nice Wesley Snipes movie starring Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. And then I watched this new one, and it kind of made you care about the characters a whole lot more. It made you kind of care about each and every one of the scenes a little bit more, and it's all done because of the performances and the style. It probably uses too much TikTok songs. But I honestly, this was a version of it that I actually really enjoyed. So, for me, I'm going to put it in the B tier. And I liked it more than Crater. I'm going there. And then finally we have The Little Mermaid, the latest live-action Disney remake. I thought this film was great. I was a little bit disappointed last month with Peter Pan and Wendy. And obviously everyone else was. For me, I liked this remake. First off, it did something that I wasn't really expecting. And that it kind of did that Lion King thing where you're able to have those nostalgic purposes, but if you fix some of the plot, add some depth to it, then it's able to work. And I think that's what this film did. Beyond that, Halle Bailey's performance as Ariel is absolutely fantastic. Her voice is beautiful. Beyond that, she's also a beautiful person. David Diggs as Sebastian, great. Would have loved to hear more from Jacob Tremblay as Flounder. Would have loved to hear. I liked Awkwafina as Scuttle. I've grown on her. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, I thought was great. Jonah Har-King, I thought was a great actor for Eric. And I liked how they actually was able to find a person that can also do the dimples. Because I was watching the film today, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't know Eric had dimples in the original one. The special effects I thought were pretty good. The designs of the characters I wasn't the biggest fan of. And then, of course, when it gets to the songs and stuff, I actually thought this was a remake where every single song works for me. The new songs, I'm still growing on them, but the all original songs, I thought they were actually good. They didn't feel wasted. They actually gave forth to them that I really loved. So I thought this was almost like Lion King, but except the better version, and it almost felt like Jungle Book, except it's telling most exactly the same story. It also does kind of have some plot lines here and there that I'm not the biggest fan of, but overall, it is a great movie, and it makes if you like the original one, you'll enjoy this one. So I loved The Little Mermaid. And so yeah, for me, Disney came back on top this month with Guardians and then Little Mermaid. The fact that we end both of these movies, that we end the month with, we begin the month with a Disney movie and then we end the month with a Disney movie. Disney had a great month. I'm very excited what's to come for next month with Secret Invasion, Flamin' Hot, not Luca, that's 2021, we're in 2023, Elemental, and then we get Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which I am still hoping to see if I like the Indiana Jones films. But let me know your guys' ranking of the films that you saw in May. What films did you see? What was your favorite film? And just tell me your ranking down below. Alright, that's it I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All my social media stuff is in the About section over there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.